Okay. Thank you all for coming. Congressman Cuellar is at the 28th District, Henry?
That is correct, Senator.
So I just was on a phone call with Henry, with people from his congressional district, police chiefs, NGOs, mayors, and it's pretty bad. Congressman Cuellar has done everything he knows to do to try to get the nation's attention to the problems facing the 28th Congressional District in Texas. We're letting you down. The nation as a whole is letting you down. What's going on in your district is bad for the country. Only God knows what the illegal immigrants experience getting to our country. And the people who live in your district are literally under siege. And I'm going to have Henry start this off by explaining the nature of the problem. I spent about 45 minutes listening to all aspects of the community in the 28th District. I will be going down there trying to help you fix a problem that affects everybody else in America, because most of the people that come through your congressional district are sent to the interior of the United States. So it really is a problem for all of us. But finally, I just want to say I've been here for quite a while now, since 1995. I've never known anybody who is willing to speak truth to the power better than you, Henry. We have a Democratic administration. Tried to work with President Trump. I had my dust-ups, but you've done it in the right way. You've been respectful. But I want to be an ally in trying to get some relief to the people of your district. So,
Senator, thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you. I appreciate all the good work you've always done on immigration reform, and I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you and going down to the district too also. We just had a phone call, because I've always told the administration, look, I'm a Democrat, it's a Democrat administration, and I've been very respectful about the administration. All I said, look, you don't have to listen to me. I want you to listen to the border communities, and I want you to listen to the men and women of DHS, their families. This weekend, I just spent about 3 hours with agents and their families and their chiefs there, especially their families. And they don't need pats in the back. They need help down there on the border. Today, we had a phone call, and I want to thank the senator and his staff for being there, because I want people to hear from my local communities. I want you to hear. So we had folks from Hidalgo County, which is where most of the epicenter is. We had a county judge, county commissioners, mayors, police chiefs, and other folks there. We went to Stark County, same thing, county judges, commissioners, cities, mayors, sheriffs, Zapata, and of course Hidalgo. And you heard, Laredo, you heard Webb County, and the mayor is very passionate, Mayor Science and other folks, Chief Landina and other folks. So I want people to hear from the local communities. And again, look, these are, and I emphasize, mainly South Texas, Hispanic, Democratic elected officials saying we need a pause and we need some help down here at the border. We're very compassionate. We understand. Most of us, come from families from Mexico. My father was born in Mexico, Guerrero, Tamaulipas, became a legal resident, became a naturalized citizen. They follow our procedures. And what they see, there's a underground tension in many ways in the Hispanic community saying, hold it, we followed this procedure, we follow these steps, and we're seeing people just come in. And I think you heard from folks that were saying also, hey, we're concerned about this overcapacity. What is the end game here? You heard about how they're going to parks. And so when families want to go out there, what do we happen? You saw what happened in La Jolla, where they released people without even saying, and it was not Border Patrol, it was a local NGO, and not telling the folks in La Jolla what was happening down there. And you hear there, you hear about safety concerns. Roma, Texas, as you know, in Stark County, it's right at the border. I'm very familiar. That's part of my district. La Jolla is part of my district. And people cross and they're walking through the streets and neighborhoods, and they're saying, hey, people are just walking through. You heard from some of the school officials say, hey, what about our schools? And there have been lockdowns in schools. because they're right at the border and people start just coming through and they worried about their kids. So, and again, I've always said this, and you've heard me say it, you don't have to listen to me. They don't have to listen to me. The administration doesn't need to listen. I've been very respectful, very supportive of the administration, but something has to change when it comes to border immigration issues on that. And again, we had the Border Patrol chiefs. We heard from Chief Ortiz. You heard about how hospitals are overloaded, as Mayor Saenz said. Hey, sometimes you have to pit a undocumented person that goes to the hospital with somebody that lives in Laredo or somewhere else. I mean, you know, there's limited spaces. What do you do? And it's not fair to pit a undocumented person to a U.S. citizen. And, you know, we represent, you know, our residents, the citizens here. So this are, I think, and I'll close on this, and I'll let you talk about the letter. We have a, you know, we put a joint letter together. And I'll let the senator, and I'll follow up on that. But I thought it was important for the senator to hear directly from the communities and how they feel about this. You want to talk about the letter?
I do. Thank you very much. And to the members of the press who are here, thank you. This is a story that needs to be covered. If this were the 28th Congressional District, figuratively, the room would be full of folks from all over the world unvaccinated. You would have a hard time moving around. And I don't think people can appreciate what's going on at the border until you listen to the people who live there. So we'll do another phone call, and we're going to stream this one. Yeah. We're going to find a way so that if you're interested in what's going on at the border, you can hear it from the people who live through it. So what have we come to conclude? Comprehensive immigration reform, in my view, is still very much needed. But you can't legalize people, in my opinion, until you first secure the border. I was involved in the Gang of Eight, and before that with Senator Kennedy, McCain, Kyle, and Salazar in 2008, trying to secure the border, pathway to citizenship for the illegal immigrant population who are non-felons, switching to a merit-based immigration system to help our economy going forward. I still believe that. But the one thing I know you can't do is provide legal status without first fixing the border, because it will create a run on the border like you've never seen before. So this idea of putting DACA in the infrastructure package is a terrible idea until you first fix the border. And I sponsored the DACA bill with Senator Durbin. I've told him I am willing to work on a small deal, medium deal, or large deal, but the first deal is to bring relief and secure the border. So Henry and I have come to conclude it's now time for a new set of eyes on this problem. That the people in charge have had 6 months and it's getting worse. And I'm not here to throw partisan stones today, but something's got to give, right? So we were talking yesterday, what could we do? Who do we trust? Who do we believe could help us get out of this mess? And we both concluded almost instantaneously, Jeh Johnson. Jeh Johnson served with President Obama. He was a Democrat. I have a lot of respect for Jeh. He was general counsel at DOD, and he dealt with these issues as secretary. So the bottom line for me is that we're urging President Biden to create a special position to bring order to chaos, put somebody in charge whose focus is just on the border and all the problems associated with it, that would have credibility in the eyes of Congress, and that's Jeh Johnson. I can promise you that most Republicans respect Jeh Johnson. And if Jeh would be willing to do it, and if President Biden would be willing to nominate him, I think you would find solutions pretty quickly. So that's what the letter's about.